Forex Concept. Let me first tell you what the Forex Concept is. This is a friend of mine, Vivek Bhargava. You should Google his name too. He believes in the Forex Concept, where his funda in life is that whatever he does or own, he will only upgrade it if the next product or next item is 4 times more expensive. So to give you an example, if he wears a pair of watch which is worth 10 lakhs, he will not change it till he can afford a watch which is 40 lakhs. If he's driving a car which is worth X, he's not going to change the car unless his next car is going to be 4X of that. So he's using this philosophy across everything he does. Of course, certain things he has capped out, like he can't buy a more expensive phone now. But in general, that is what he was doing. And when I spoke to him about this idea, and I said, hey, isn't this really being greedy? Isn't this really trying to say that, or trying to go to another limit? And his point was, actually, it's completely the opposite. It is about ambition. It's about thinking big. Somebody can do the 0x, but the most common thing between this is, it's about challenging yourself. I think if you are not challenging yourself and you are not in a comfort zone, that's when you can grow as a person, as an individual, or as a company. I think we are all become very happy with just moving 1 step ahead or 1.5 or 2 steps ahead. I think that needs to change. The second thing which is very important is, what is your expertise? I am a college dropout, TY become fail, never studied anything. My first company ended up becoming India's biggest gaming company. And now I'm disrupting the world of healthcare. I'm not a doctor. None of the team members in my management team are doctors. But we are today taking more care of people with our innovative solutions, with Goki, our wearables, and everything else, than all the other doctors and all those other people put together. And you know why is that? Because most people try and become expert in a topic, in a subject, in a field. Unfortunately, the problem is that they don't become the expert in the one field which is most important, which is the customer. So my expertise always lie in being an expert at what the customer wants and what my customer wants. And the minute you change that paradigm and say that I don't want to be the expert in a subject, but I want to be the expert in the consumption, that changes the game. In my own case, I started making games because I loved playing games. I exactly knew what the best games were. I exactly knew what was required to entertain. So I was already the expert in the customer. While many people who MBAs who read business plans and started making games, they all flopped. Because life mein kisi ne game nahi khela tha. They had read business plans and they were trying to make games. And here I was, who was only playing games day and night and eating vada pav, which created the challenge. However, that is a story which ended up well. We ended up selling the company to Disney. And I jokingly tell Venki that Venki's new business started fueling my new business today, because all the people who started eating vada pav eventually became very fat and unhealthy. And they wanted to come back to my new business model of Goki. And how did the Goki idea came about? So I was almost 3 times this size, extremely unhealthy. However, in school, I was a national level volleyball player. So at one point of time, I was able to get healthier. I realized that all these fitness devices, gyms, diets, all these are useless. Please do not waste your time over there. The reality is, what people need is not information. You can Google and find out every information. Information has got commoditized. What you need or what you lack is motivation. In my case, I met a coach in my neighborhood who used to message me, WhatsApp me. Usne meko bola, just tell me every day what you are doing, what you are eating, I'll tell you what to do. That's what I did. I started telling him, this is what I was eating, this is what I was doing. He used to tell me, do this, do push-ups, do squats, etc. To cut a long story short, from being a couch potato, I now run 15 half marathons. I've done 4 ultra marathons. I was on Everest Base Camp. And that didn't happen with any gym, diet, device, or app. That happened with, this was combined. All the data was combined with all the knowledge and expertise. And I became the expert in health, because I realized that the problem in health is not that people don't know what to do. Everybody knows you don't need to drink, you don't need to smoke, you need to eat healthy, don't eat fried foods. Nothing great about it. The problem is most people lack the motivation. And that's what got the idea of Goki, where we connected the wearable devices to coaches, doctors, and now forget all of that. We are working with insurance companies, banks, and a whole host of providers. And guess what happened? Today, even though there is the Fitbits, the Apple Watch, and all the other people in the market, Goki is the #1 player with 24% market share. And I think that's what changes the market, because we were not even trying to compete on the wearable or the hardware. So I think a lot of people out here, when they are building products or services, the challenge is they don't know who their competition is. So when people ask me who my competition is, any guesses who Goki's competition is? I can't hear any names. Okay. So normally people think of your competitor as either a different company, a different brand, a gym, another watch, or so on. But you know who's our real competitor? It is laziness. What we found out was people don't buy Goki or stop using Goki because they suddenly started using something else. It's because they are lazy. So when we identified that our true competitor is no other company or product but laziness, we are working towards a very, very disruptive model. So our business became, how can we remove all excuses of being lazy? So in our case, if you don't log your food or if you don't walk, our coaches will start calling you. If you do, I mean, literally they can hound you, because we were not trying to solve the problem of a device or a hardware. We were trying to solve the problem of you being lazy. So coming back to the same thing, who do you think is Netflix's biggest competition? Exactly. So the CEO of Netflix, Reed Hastings, identified rightly that their big competition, sorry, that's my alarm going out telling me that I have to stop, but I'll give you 4 more minutes, that their biggest competition is not Amazon Prime or television, but it is sleep. The only reason people stop watching Netflix is because they are sleeping. And I think if you start looking at your products and services, not in the context of any other competition, but what are you taking away? Because the most important commodity today is time. And we are all competing with time. The consumer, a person, only has that much time in the day. And that's what most people are trying to do. Finally, I want to talk about 2 simple concepts. One is what I call the painkiller, and the other is the itch creator. If you look at businesses, the problem with a lot of our businesses is that we are not trying to solve a problem. We are not trying to create a painkiller. We are looking at other businesses around us, and because we think somebody is doing well or some model is working, you try and quickly copy that model and start saying that I'll do this or I'll do that. The reality is, unless you have identified a pain or experienced the pain yourself, you cannot create a solution for it. And India is the land of pain. There is opportunity everywhere. This is a country where Domino's can deliver a pizza in 30 minutes, the ambulance cannot come in 30 minutes, the police cannot come in 30 minutes. However, the same road, Swiggy, Uber, and everybody else can operate. So is it an infrastructure problem? No. It's a problem of entrepreneurs like you not looking at these problems and not creating solutions around it. The second kind of solution is what I call the itch creator. It is something which did not exist, and we are doing it now in a way that we can't do it before. Think about platforms like WhatsApp and Facebook. The world was completely okay. We could all communicate before Facebook or WhatsApp, but they made it so much better that using the traditional form was completely crap. You will be an idiot to use something else or communicate not using WhatsApp today. And that's a very interesting product category, and that's a lot tougher because what you are trying to do is change consumer habits. A consumer is used to consume something in a particular way, and here you are trying to change that mold, and that becomes a lot more difficult. in this. But finally, I think I want to end my talk by giving you one simple message. That is, you have to learn one very important thing, which is to fail. And the problem is, we all don't like failure. How do you learn yourself to fail? And my recommendation is, please go and join any sport. That's the first thing you should do. Go back to your own neighborhood, in a gymkhana, any club, start playing any game. It could be as simple as table tennis. The problem is, because we have, in the Indian society, we have always grown with the mentality that I have to become number one, number two. Failure is not accepted in what we do. And because failure is not accepted, when a lot of people face failure, they are not able to handle it, and it becomes demotivating, depressing, and then you get into this loop of negativity. But if you start enjoying and celebrating failure, it changes the game. And I think the closest place where you can learn this is games. And especially at our ages, if you go, I'm telling you, you're not going to win every day. You're going to lose every day to some young opponent who's going to beat you either in the game of badminton or table tennis or volleyball for that matter. However, the one day you win, that gives you the different high. And the other days where you continue to lose is where you prepare, you don't give up. That's where you learn team spirit. And in fact, I credit my own operational skills as a manager, as whatever I have done. I have not learned it from any school, college, or MBA institution. I have learned it on the field, where you had to deal with team members who were having bad days, who were losing. We didn't have facilities. So all the stuff you can, sports simulates that. So one thing I want to end by saying a message is, please hire sportsmen in your teams. If you're looking at opportunity, forget about hiring MBAs, forget about hiring anything else. If you can see people who have done sport and you hire them, I can bet you, you're going to win. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I have to run.
Thank you, Vishal, for the lovely motivational words. Can I request you to please be back on the stage for one last minute, please?
No, thanks.
Hemu sir. Okay, that's one hurried guest.
I'm not hurrying you guys.
I can understand, you're pressing for time, but it's just a matter of 30 seconds. Can we request? All right, let's hear it for Vishal, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vishal. I'm sure the last hour or so that we have spent listening to these lovely entrepreneurs would help us do better in our businesses. Nisha, over to you.
Thank you, Fahad. So we all have been quite happy with the snakes on the floor, right? No? Have you all been happy with the snakes on the floor or not? No? Okay. I'm moving on to ladders then. Are you all interested in knowing which chapters have climbed up the ladder of success in the last year? Yes? No? Yes? Because it's time for some chapter awards. Now, I just got to know that Hemu sponsored a new award. It's for the chapter that makes the loudest noise and cheers the other chapters. Who's up for that award? Okay, thank you. However, may I please request only the LT, only the leadership teams to come up to receive the awards in the interest of time, please. Can I get that promise from our audience, please? Please. Thank you. Now may I please ask Graham, Mac and Murli to please come up and do the honors.
And while Graham, Mac and Murli stand up and come to the stage, a little request to the members towards the last rows of the room. Request you all to please take back your seats. Please be seated. Please be comfortable. Please make sure that there's no distraction in the room. So request you all to please sit down. Starting off with the chapter awards, requesting, as been announced the names, only the leadership teams to try and walk in as fast as possible and cover these awards. So the first category of awards that we have is to be given to the chapters that have registered the highest net growth in membership in the last year. We'll be starting with Mumbai East. The chapter with highest net add are Bni Prosperity with 17 members added in the last year. Can we have the leadership team of Prosperity here on the stage? Congratulations, guys. From Mumbai Northeast, we have Bni Energy. 11 members added in the last year. Can we have the leadership team of Bni Energy on the stage? Bni Energy. Come on, guys, you need to be faster. Let's hear it for Bni Energy, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. Moving on to Mumbai Northwest. The winning chapter is Bni Infinite with 11 members added. Can we have the leadership team of Bni Infinite? Leadership team of Bni Infinite. Congratulations, Infinite. From Mumbai South, the winners are Bni Premier with 18 members added. Can we have the leadership team of Bni Premier? Bni Premier, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, guys. Moving on to Mumbai West. Our award sponsor winning a spot for the